Kia ora, welcome to Central News for Friday the 10th of October. I'm Hilary Entwistle. Bay of Plenty Regional Council has formed a new Land Technical Advisory Group, LandTag, to provide independent advice on land-based nutrient management solutions for water quality. The LandTag's first priority will be the Rotorua Te Arawa Lakes, and then it will expand its focus to wider land management issues across the region. The advisory group is tasked to provide independent technical science and economics advice on existing and new catchment land uses, their effects on water quality, and how to mitigate them. In the spirit of giving back to the community, Waikato's musical icon, Dame Malvina Major, has put together a special musical showcase that will feature performances by some of the University of Waikato's top music students. Being held on the 16th of October, the event will welcome and thank those from the local community who have supported the university over the years. Representatives from key community groups, including local government, arts and education, as well as members of Dame Malvina Major Foundation and University of Waikato staff and alumni are amongst those invited to attend. The event is also open to the general public. Rotorua will be the backdrop to a major New Zealand crime series being co-developed for the BBC by the producers of Downton Abbey. Tentatively titled Bay of Plenty, the series is billed as a darkly eccentric crime drama created by Libertine Pictures creative director and multi-award-winning film and TV writer Neil Cross. Bay of Plenty will follow a London police detective who moves to Rotorua with her husband and children with the notion she is moving to paradise. Shot primarily in Rotorua and the Bay of Plenty, the show is being developed as 8 one-hour-long episodes. It will feature a mix of New Zealand and international actors, plus an all-Kiwi crew, and filming is expected to get underway during the latter half of 2015. The show is being co-developed by Downton Abbey producer Carnival Films and Neil's New Zealand-based production company, Libertine Pictures. Now for the marine forecast. West coast, Raglan, southerly 15 knots, a moderate southwest swell easing Saturday. High tide is at 12:55 p.m. East coast, Bay of Plenty, a variable 5 knots, but northeast 10 knots during the afternoon. Mainly fine out there. 10:01 a.m. is your high tide. Just ahead, the Hamilton Operatic Society with Avenue Q. Welcome to Central News on TV Central. Hamilton Operatic Society is one of the oldest musical theatre groups in New Zealand, and this year presents the hilarious musical Avenue Q at Clarence Street Theatre from the 21st of November through to the 13th of December. Anne-Marie spoke with some of the cast to find out more about Avenue Q.
Well, Avenue Q is basically a show that's a take on Sesame Street, and it's sort of more of an adult version, and it's about a group of 20 and 30-somethings who live in New York. Basically a bunch of friends who come together and just about life really, poverty, racism, about trying to find your way in the world.
Nick, it's a show with puppets, but it's not a show for kids, is it?
No, it's not really a show for kids. The issues that we address in Avenue Q, such as poverty, sexuality, racism, are addressed in quite an irreverent sort of way. There are a couple of scenes, a couple of intimate scenes between puppets that probably you wouldn't get away with if it were actual human actors, but because it's puppets, we can get away with it.
Now, Tim, it's based on the Sesame Street style of puppeteering. Mm-hmm. What's that like for the audience? Because they can actually see both cast member and puppet at the same time.
Well, as you can see, it's basically us and the puppet.
That's right. Yeah, it's just you and me on stage, baby.
And basically, I think for the first 20 minutes or so, it can be quite sort of interesting. The audience members are watching us and the puppets as well. But within sort of a space of time, then the puppets seem to take on a life of their own, really.
That suspension of disbelief kicks in, and I suppose your focus shifts onto the puppets and the whole storyline.
Oh, yeah, we just ignore everyone else on stage and you just want to check out us.
Rod, I better... Rod? Tricky Monster.
My name's actually Nikki. That's Rod.
I'm Rod.
Oh gosh, now I'm getting all confused between them. So how have you found the whole process so far?
Well, the whole process has been kind of weird. Like I said, I've got this guy over here who's got his hand up my butt, which, is a bit interesting. But
the whole process has been really interesting. Like I said, the puppets do tend to take on a life of their own, and they do become part of us. So, and it's been really interesting because I'm not a puppeteer, so I've had to literally learn all about puppeteering and build up some arm muscles. But it's been a lot of fun.
Nick, what's your background?
My background in theatre, I've been involved in the theatre community in Hamilton for probably about 19 years now. He's very, very talented, stop it. As an actor, director, MC, I've been involved with Hamilton Operatic for that whole length of time. I started at Operatic. This will probably be my 30-something show for Hamop.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Well, Rod, tell me, how are you finding the whole process? What's Nick like to work with?
Nick is an amazing, amazing person to work with. I couldn't have chosen a better puppeteer. I interviewed so many different people to work with me specifically because I feel I'm one of the most important people in Avenue Q. My name is Rod. I'm in Avenue Q, which is on this Christmas. Come and see it. I'm enjoying the whole process. It's just wonderful.
So, Tim, tell me about the Avenue Q production. It is a musical. It has been on Broadway. Tell me about what is an audience member going to expect when they come to the show?
I think audience members are going to expect a lot of laughs. It's something different for Hamilton, and I think it's just an amazing show. And like I said, it's not just sort of rude adult comedy. There's a lot of sort of heart and soul in the show, and it's very, very cleverly done. So the songs are funny and very, very heartwarming, and there's some scenes in there that sort of tug at the heartstrings as well. So it's got pretty much everything. So humour and visually it just looks incredible, and it's, like I said, it's really challenging for us too. So coming up with 3 different voices and 3 different puppets and rushing off stage and coming back and doing another puppet.
So tell me about your character in the show. You two flat together.
Yeah, we flat together, and he's so anally retentive. He just does everything. He even irons his underwear.
You iron your underwear. What's that about?
No one else is going to do it for me, so, Nikki wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't touch your underwear.
So, Nikki, what do you do? Do you work?
No, I'm currently unemployed. Well, actually, I'm between jobs. I have been looking, but there's just so many great things on the TV that I just don't really want to work. But Rod's always at me that I need to find a job, so I just haven't found my purpose yet.
And Rod, what do you do?
I'm an investment banker.
I wouldn't have guessed that, but you're very snappily dressed.
Well, I dressed up for this interview today. I have several other outfits that I wear throughout the show, but this is my favourite.
So, Nick, tell me about the puppets. Are they the same ones used in the Broadway production?
They're very similar to the Broadway production puppets. There's when you purchase the rights to put on Avenue Q, there's a clause in there that the puppets need to be made by a certain company, have the same kind of looks and operate the same way. So there's very little difference between these puppets and the ones used on Broadway. The heads actually detach because there's costume changes. So the head pops onto different costumes depending on the scene.
Of course there are costume changes.
We even have some naked puppets.
Of course you do. What's the most challenging thing about this production so far? How are you enjoying it though as well?
I'm loving it. Basically, we're a family, so rehearsals are quite funny, so we tend to get together and have a lot of laughs, which is really good because, you know, the music, we're learning the music and it is quite hard, but a lot of fun, and again, like I said before, the challenge is definitely the puppets and building up some arm muscles to be able to work with these guys.
No lightweight. So Nick, how are you finding it all so far?
Yeah, it's an interesting process actually working with puppets. Normally normally when we go into rehearsal, we've got our scripts in our hands when we start blocking the show. But because we've got our hands full, we need to have our lines down before we actually start the blocking process. And yeah, just really need to work on our using muscles that you're not normally using is quite a challenge.
We look forward to seeing you at Clarence Street Theatre coming up to the Christmas season in Hamilton.
We look forward to seeing you too.
Thank you for having us.
Avenue Q runs from the 21st of November through to the 13th of December at Clarence Street Theatre in Hamilton. Up next, we talk to Miss Teen Earth, New Zealand. Welcome back to Central News. Miss Teen Earth Beauty is a local woman off to Panama to represent the country. Anne Marie caught up with her.
Well, I received an email from my agent Julie Nolan, and she asked me if I'd like to participate in the Miss Teen Hamilton pageant. And so I asked Mum and decided why not, and she fully supported me through the event. And so I gave the best I could and won.
You did. You won Miss Teen Hamilton. That must have been an amazing experience.
It was nerve-wracking at first, but a lot of fun, and I met some amazing people, and I feel more confident, and yeah.
So what did you have to do at Miss Teen Hamilton?
I had an interview at the start with the judges, and we went through the whole show during the day and how everything was going to go, and practicing walking and just meeting the people and getting to know everyone.
And from that win, you went on, Elena went on, Megan, to represent Hamilton in the Miss Teen New Zealand?
Yes, up in Auckland in July there was girls from all over New Zealand competing, and they had a whole day of preparation and learning, and they had to just
Be beautiful from the inside.
Be humble and just be, you know, it was a really big learning experience for a little 14-year-old to compete with all these beautiful girls. So she did very well.
Now, you didn't win there, but you did win, in a way. Was that right? Like, you got chosen for most talented? Tell me about that.
Well, we had to, for Miss Teen New Zealand, we were asked to do a talent, and so I chose to do my own dance, and I choreographed it, chose my own music and costumes, so I gave that a go as well, and also won that category.
And you've been selected for the biggie, to represent New Zealand at Miss Teen Earth International Beauty in Panama. That's an incredible achievement. How do you feel about that? How did you feel when you were selected?
I was pretty shocked at first and proud of myself in a way, and excited about how far I can go with this and what's prepared for me ahead, and just so happy that everything is happening.
And Megan, she also won Best Evening Gown as well?
Yes, she did.
What was the criteria for that?
Well, the criteria is pretty basic to start with. It's you've got to pick a dress that suits your body, which is actually quite challenging in itself, and has to touch the ground. And then the girls must present the dress beautifully, so they have to walk in it correctly, their poise, their manner, their stature. Then they have to give a speech to the judges in it and be able to walk and parade the dress. So it's presenting themselves and the dress in the best light. So she nailed that one. She was amazing, absolutely stunning.
What's your background? Have you done speech and drama? Have you done dance? Or are you just naturally confident and give everything a go?
Well, I can't say I'm naturally confident, but I love to dance and I love being involved with music and everything like that. I am not so well in drama, but I can give things a go and just do the best that I can.
It's a great attitude, isn't it, in life to have, to be able to give everything a go. So off to Panama, you're going. Yes. How are you? I'm thinking that's going to cost a bit.
It's costing quite a bit. We have had the international organisers have donated all the dresses that she has to wear, all her cocktail dresses, evening dresses.
That's huge.
But we still have to obviously get her shoes and all her accessories and things. The flights and over there were the biggest chunk of it, but they were generously donated to us by family, so that was a huge help. And so we're madly fundraising and seeking, sponsorship for the rest.
So how are you fundraising?
We've had some help from local businesses, the Classic Car Museum, and donated some vouchers to us to raffle off. We've had New World Te Rapa let us run a sausage sizzle there last week, so I made a few $100s there, and they were very generous to donate all the sausages to us. So it's a help. Anything that can help does actually help, even the smallest things. So we've had a few people just give little donations here and there. So we got a gift of sponsorship from Gallagher Group. They've donated some money towards us as well. So we're still seeking a bit more.
How are you going to do a fundraising page like Give a Little or anything like that?
We have looked into that, so yeah, we'll keep our options open.
Or keep us posted on that. What are you going to be doing in Panama?
Well, the pageant is happening over 5 days, so they'll be judging throughout all those 5 days. We'll be asked to do fashion shows, makeup tutorials. We'll be judged on swimwear, daywear, evening wear and cocktail dresses. And so we'll just be judged on every little thing, and we'll be asked to do activities throughout the day, and we're
community-based project, because it's Miss Teen Earth. It's a big environmental plug. So the big thing is about worldwide consciousness in the environment. So they've got some community-based activities like tree planting and going into primary schools and giving some education as well. So it's actually quite a big thing. So hopefully we can plug New Zealand while we're there.
And it's really important to remember that you've won already before you even get there. No matter what happens, you're a winner. And it's important, especially with these kind of competitions, for girls to know that, isn't it? Are you worried about that side?
Not so much. Elena's she's very humble, and she's very beautiful inside and out. And she's got that humility that she knows, she'll just do her best, and whatever will be. So I'm really proud of her in that regard.
To find out more, visit pageantsofnewzealand.co.nz. Up next, the weather for the weekend and how to understand what your body needs nutritionally. Welcome back. The World Health Organization describes the prevalence of obesity as an epidemic. The most recent obesity figures for adults and children were released in December 2013 and found almost 1 in 3 adults aged 15 years and over were obese. A further 34% were overweight. Anne-Marie spoke with nutritionist Jake Campus about the concerning statistics and asked what the biggest concern is with the way Kiwis are eating.
So I've been a nutritionist for 8 years. I've got a sport and exercise science degree, and then I've also got a postgraduate degree with honours in nutrition, physiology and musculoskeletal rehabilitation.
What's your biggest concern about the way Kiwis eat?
I think lack of education. What is a carbohydrate? What is a protein? What is a fat? And the gearing towards convenience and highly processed foods over more nutrient-rich and healthy foods.
Why do you think that is?
I think marketing with the consumer, what's pushed to us as consumers, it's all over television, ease of accessibility, convenience, and lack of education. I think the education is a big part of making a healthier New Zealander starting from a young age.
There always seems to be one fad diet or another. Whatever happened to the notion of everything in moderation?
It's the same with exercise and diet. There's always the newest thing on the block that everyone raves about, and it dies off very quickly. And you can expect that with your results when you follow these sorts of fads. They are just fads, they have no real longevity to them, and they aren't really sustainable as something you can do for a long time. To be healthy long term, to lose weight and maintain it, any of those things require basically an approach that will allow you to do this as a lifestyle and actually modify some factors in your eating and training so that you can keep doing this for a long time rather than cutting something out for 6 or 8 weeks, crash dieting, and then not knowing how to maintain it.
Do you think people actually understand what the human body needs, what makes up a cell?
Not at all.
Is education the key?
The key is people want visual results or they want to feel good. Most people who embark on a fad diet want fast results that is going to make them look better in a dress or in a suit or is going to get the 5 kgs they want off by their special event. They have no real interest in what they're doing to their health or what, how the human body works. So there's no real education on that, and that's why people put the weight back on plus some afterwards, is because they have no idea that the body requires a certain balance of things to function properly.
So what's the answer?
The answer is, one, education from an early age, understanding what's a carb, protein and fat. That's the basics. Once you know that, you can sort of understand how the human body will use these things. And there is no such thing as a quick fix. Myself, as a nutritionist, can get quick results, but it's using lifestyle factors and modifying it so that it's something that they'll continue on with a long time, and teaching them along the way so they can maintain it long term. There's never me cutting one specific thing out. We may remove some things from the diet that might not help us get there, for example, sugars or alcohol, but long term we can introduce them in a moderate amount so they can have a balanced lifestyle.
For more information and advice on nutrition, contact Jake at jakecampus.com. Let's look at the weather for the weekend now. Saturday for you, Hamilton, will be mainly fine, then some afternoon and evening showers. Your expected high is 19 and an overnight low of 11. The rest of the Waikato, you can expect a fine day too, apart from scattered afternoon and evening showers. Light winds for you. Paeroa, your expected high is 17 and an overnight low of 8. Matamata, 16 and 7. Te Aomutu, 19 and 11. And Tokoroa, your expected high is 17 and an overnight low of 12. Tauranga, fine for your Saturday there, maybe the occasional afternoon evening shower. Your expected high is 18 and an overnight low of 12. The rest of the Bay of Plenty, fine, apart from a few afternoon and evening showers inland. Light winds. Te Puke, your expected high is 16 and an overnight low of 13. Hamilton, your Sunday, the same as your Saturday actually, mainly fine with some afternoon evening showers. 19 and 11 your expected temperatures. In other parts of the Waikato, fine, apart from a few afternoon and evening showers and light winds. Paeroa, your expected high is 18 and an overnight low of 9. Matamata, 17 and 7. Te Aomutu, 19 and 11. And Tokoroa, 17 and 11. Sunday for you, Tauranga, fine spells and a few showers. Southeast breezes. Your expected high is 18 and an overnight low of 12. For other parts of the Bay of Plenty, mainly fine, apart from a few showers west of Tauranga. Light winds for you. Te Puke, your expected high is 17 and an overnight low of 13. That is Central News for today and this week. You can get in contact with us via our Facebook page, centralnews.tv, or email us news@tvcentral.co.nz. Next week we'll have more stories from the Waikato and the Bay of Plenty. Until then, I'm Hilary Entwistle and I hope you have a lovely evening and a fantastic weekend.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.